recording. As of right now. What you got over there?
Halligan bar.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, from Halloween Kills.
Is that the one you made?
Oh, I didn't make this. I bought this.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's made of fucking wood.
Oh, well, it's not very... Isn't that tool, like, super heavy in real life?
Yeah.
Like the actual one? Because it's, like, all, like, solid fucking metal?
It's like, yeah, and it's like a heavy-ass metal.
Yeah.
If you drop it on your foot, it, like, shatters it. No, like, dead ass.
Not in my steel-toed boots, it doesn't.
Bro, you don't think firefighters are wearing the most protected-ass shit? I'm saying, bro, if you drop a Halligan bar on that shit, your foot's gone. Decapitated. Decapitated?
No fucking way. I don't believe that. I'm
Not decapitated.
I'm different, bro.
Amputated.
I'm different. That wouldn't happen to me.
Yeah? Oh, really?
Yeah.
We want to put it to the test? Live on
air?
air?
On the live stream.
That's the live stream. That's
on next week's live
That's
stream.
the idea. Anyway, let's hop
Yeah,
back
yeah.
into this podcast.
All right. Welcome back, guys, to the Creep at 100 podcast. I am your host, Kinson. Said it right that time. I'm not Mark this
and
time.
I'm Kinson.
Yes, and he is also Kinson, no relation. So, today we're going back into Ed Lorraine Warren. We're going to go right back into this strange world of ghosts, ghouls, goblins, and bazaars.
Crazy.
Crazy bazaars.
Speaking of crazy bazaars, do we want to tell them the top 3 scariest
Oh,
ghost encounters we've ever had?
true. Yeah, let's.
Because we talked about that last episode.
We did, yeah. We said that we would do it at the top of this episode. So, let's do that before we get in here.
Let's give a little bit of backstory here, too.
Yeah, so...
I guess this entity's been around for years, the one that we were dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Or, I don't know. It's literally up to you. I don't care if you guys believe this or not. I don't give a fuck. I'm just telling it. This is literally what we saw and what we dealt with. 2016, I fucked with the Ouija board with some friends. I think you were there.
Mm-hmm.
It spelled out a demon name, Abacus. I don't even know if these correlate with what happened in 2020. I have no idea if this is the same thing. We looked him up. Abacus is like the fucking, what was he? Lord of the Flies?
Yes.
And then my moth literally got infested with, or my basement got infested with moths. Excuse me.
Mm.
Help me shorten this. I don't need to tell the whole story.
Yeah, so got infested with moss, and then we thought it was like very like lighthearted still, and like that we were like oh cool, we're talking to something, that's cool. Let's push it a little farther, and we just kept pushing with it, and we kept like fucking with Ouija boards and like we would do ghost detecting like equipment and things like that.
That was later. That was like literally 4 years later though.
What?
Where we bought all the ghost equipment.
No, not like official investigations.
Oh.
But like we're fucking with it and we're trying to see it and things like that. Like we're openly inviting this thing in.
Yeah.
Because we're just curious and we think honestly it being here would be cooler
Than it not being
being here. So yeah, eventually it just becomes a thing where it's now starting to be a problem where it is starting to like fuck with shit.
Yeah.
In the house and is fucking with people that come over here to the point where a lot of people did not want to come here anymore that we were friends with. Like a lot of people like ixnayed this house.
Yeah, I don't blame
for
him.
a long time. Yeah,
I mean, Zach. Shout out Zach. I don't know if you ever listened to our podcast, but shout out.
Yep.
He never, after he saw that door closed by himself,
Mhm.
he said, "Yeah, take me home."
my man was
Never came back.
speedoed up on Facebook yesterday.
Living his best life.
He is. He was like leaning up against this rail. Like there was like this beautiful beach behind him.
Oh my god, and he lost all that weight.
Oh, he looks great.
He looks great.
He looks fantastic.
Really proud of you,
He's
Zach.
very fit. Yeah, I miss that guy. I haven't seen him probably since one of the times in your basement, a really long time ago.
I saw him a few years ago.
I haven't. I just have not seen. I used to see his mom all the time because I live two doors down from him or from her. And I think I saw him maybe once pulling in or leaving, but like
Doesn't
that was
matter.
it.
This has nothing to do with him.
Yeah.
Kind of. He was a little part of the story.
So anyway, that's a general idea of what happened. Without
Years
going too much into
pass. Years, literally, like literal years pass. And it gets to the point where an apparition's manifesting itself in front of people.
it. Like straight like black foggy mist ghoul, like movie type shit
Literally,
is popping up.
maybe 7-8 feet tall,
Yeah.
big bodied.
Mm-hmm.
Other people, I mean, I've seen it. My girlfriend's seen it. You haven't, right?
Mm-mm.
Who else said they saw it?
Didn't Hayden?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No.
So many people encountered this entity. So many. So, I mean, it got to the point where I was like, all right, this is actually getting scary.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I did? I went on Amazon. I bought an EMF reader, a spirit box, that thermostat gun.
Mm-hmm.
What else did I have?
Yeah, you bought that.
Yes, I bought that. Did not take it from a previous job that I worked at.
Yeah, Chorzy, you know the one.
Wait, I have the box over here. I can tell you exactly what I fucking bought.
The box?
Yeah, I got a box full of ghost hunting equipment somewhere.
Bought a kit?
It's not a kit. It's just all in a box.
Okay.
I don't know where I put it.
That was years ago.
I packed everything away because I mean I haven't had to use them. We bought a bunch of shit. Is the moral of this story. The reason I did is because it got really active and it was like opening cabinets, turning on faucets, fucking with my dad.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's not push this any further. I kind of want it out of my house now.
Yeah. It's not funny anymore.
Yeah, it's not funny. It's actually really scary. Woke up once and it was literally standing like maybe 4 feet from my bed.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
I've seen it twice. Literally only twice. Once literally standing right here where Kinson is.
Mm-hmm.
And once, because my bed's right over here.
Yeah.
4 feet from my bed, just watching over me.
Mm.
I threw up. I was so scared.
Yeah. So, knowing all of that, I'm gonna run quick through my top 3, right?
Go through it.
Because, or else we're never gonna get to the actual point of the episode. But, so my top 3 things that have ever happened here, like paranormal wise, is one day we're looking around and we're using all this equipment that he bought, and
salted the top of the steps too.
Don't
forget we did that.
Mm-hmm. So we're looking everywhere around, and we're using EMFs, and we're doing the temperature gun and everything, and then Mark's girlfriend is sitting in his living room, headphones on, watching like her phone or watching TV or something, because she does not fuck with that shit. Freaks her out. So
I don't blame her. She saw it.
Oh no, I agree. And so she didn't want to be a part of it. She didn't want to hear it because it would have freaked her out just hearing us saying things. So she's sitting there, and then all of a sudden we're sitting in a little side room of his house, and huge fucking like pounding knocks on the back door like happen. My heart sank when I heard that. It was so loud. We ran to the back door, immediately opened. There was nobody there, and then in a quick second of thinking, we got 2 of our friends. You were one of them.
Yeah.
You went here, and then Aaron, who was on the show 5 weeks ago at this point, they ran left and right around the house to meet at the front door just to make sure there was nobody around. There was nobody there, but these knocks were crazy. It was so loud that Mark's girlfriend took off her headphones and was like, what the fuck was that? That, I think, was honestly the scariest thing ever. If it would have been one knock, it would have been different. Because I would have thought it was like a fucking bird hitting the thing or something.
No, it was like, I think it was 3.
It was bump, bump, bump. Loud as shit. Like, it was someone hitting that fucking door, and it was loud. Like, it was so loud that, like, I think 10% more pressure might have broke the glass.
It scared the shit out of us. I remember I jumped. I
was terrified. Like, my fucking heart sank. I was done after that.
Yeah, I remember we sat there like, I think we're done for
tonight. Let's be done for the night. So, that one is my number 1. Number 2 is before the ghost hunting equipment. No, this is right when we got the ghost hunting equipment. When we're sitting here at this, also at a table here.
No, this was the same table.
It is this table, okay.
Yeah.
We're sitting at this table, and me and Mark are fucking with the Ouija board with also Aaron. Aaron's just not... He doesn't have his fingers on it.
But he's
watching it.
He's taunting it.
Yeah, he's like taunting it. He's spectating the Ouija board to make sure that me or Mark is not fucking around. And
is this when we both took our fingers on?
Yes. And so we're sitting there. We also have on the Spirit box, which is, if you don't know, it's a device that basically it scans through radio stations extremely fast, so that if a voice can manifest itself into that using electricity, it'll speak over these channels, and you know that it's not just somebody on the channel because it's skipping through like one every like half a second or something.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. So like there's no possibility that something can speak across that many different radio waves at the same time unless it's manipulating it there. So
And it does, and it's funny.
So we're sitting there and we're asking it questions and nothing's happening at all. All of a sudden, we start to move on the Ouija board. Like, things start to move around. And me and Mark, I think, honestly, at this time, at least I felt that you were doing it, and I feel like you felt I was doing it.
Yeah.
I think we were just like, nothing was happening, so we were kind of making something happen. And then I decided to test it out by just lightly taking my fingers off. I didn't even want Mark to see it, so I took my fingers off like the planchette a little bit.
And I literally did the same thing.
And it kept moving.
Mm-hmm.
No one's touching it, and it kept moving a little bit. It like skipped out of our hands a few times, like throughout the thing. And Aaron was like at ground level looking at this thing, and he says that that both of us took our fingers off at the same time a few times, and it kept moving. All of a sudden, we're asking, what's the question we asked?
We asked what it wants, and it literally said my name.
Yeah.
Through the spirit box.
Yeah. It was like it was and it was quick too. Like the first few responses were like, what do you want, Mark? Like it was like real quick. Like,
I think we asked what do you want, and it said his body.
Yeah.
I don't know if it actually wanted to possess me, if it wanted like, if it was just like attracted to me. We don't know.
True. Could want to fuck.
Because ghosts be doing that. You know that ghosts be doing that.
Yeah. Could want to fuck.
Little succubus.
So, but what's the actual question that we asked when that happened? Do you remember?
When because Aaron started fucking with it, and Aaron goes, "Well, why don't you want me?" That?
No. That was over there.
That was over there.
This is when we were here. This is the scream. This is the.
Oh, when it.
What did it ask for? Or what did we ask?
We
I don't know.
May have asked for it to. I don't know. Did we ask for it to leave?
I think we might have said like, do you want to leave or something like that? And then all of a sudden, scary as fuck, loud as fuck, this deep voice comes across the spirit box and just goes, "No." Like that. It was so fucking scary.
Oh, my heart
bro.
dropped down to my coochie, bro.
Oh, it was scary.
Okay, I it's such a blur. I just remember the no.
Yeah, and then the last one was very similar situation where we just weren't messing with the Ouija board. We were just on the spirit box, EMF, things like that. We're all looking around. We found a hot spot where the EMF was very active. We went and put the spirit box down, and then we're talking to it, and then that's when Aaron eventually asks, like, well, why don't you want me? And it goes, ugly.
Aaron said, all right.
Nothing has taken me out of an investigation harder than the ghost just calling Aaron ugly.
That was so disrespectful, too. So disrespectful.
Aaron literally goes, bro. he smacked his teeth and he said, bro. He said, did that thing just call me ugly? Oh my god, that's so funny.
That story sounds so crazy.
It sounds so crazy, but like, it's so funny because it genuinely happened.
Yeah. And I don't tell people, I really don't tell people this story.
Yeah.
I never do. Because it's just so out there.
It is. It's very out there. It sounds so fucking fake.
I know. We should have recorded it.
I know. I wish every day we would have. But you have any?
That's it. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay. Cool. All right. So now that we're a third of the way through the episode, let me actually get into our point of the episode today. We're ending our mini series on Ed Lorraine Warren. We're gonna go over potentially only one more other case now that we just dropped like 15 minutes of ghost stories, but whatever. It was a good time. So real quick like recap of who they are. They were the ghost hunting team for the last episode who investigated over 10,000 cases across all their years as investigators. Last week we talked about the Annabelle case, but this week we're going to talk about a few more that are even more famous, such as Amityville and maybe the Enfield Poltergeist, depending on time. So, we're going to start out with Amityville, which is their most famous and most debated case on if it was real or fake. So, this actual original case starts like 3 years before they even got there. This starts out on November 13th, 1974, 6:30 p.m. This 23-year-old named Ronald busts into a bar screaming. And he's screaming that his parents had been shot at their home. Eventually, the police come back with him to the home to an absolute massacre. I mean, there's the 2 parents and there's 4 children that are all dead in their beds, all shot with a .35 caliber rifle. I've never even heard of a .35 caliber. But
That's crazy to think about because you think they would have woken up.
that's one of my main things. It's an interesting point that you bring up, and I'm glad you did, because we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But the police start to suspect that it was a mob hit, and I freaked out for a second, because this is Ronald DeFeo. When we talked about Richard Kuglinski, there was the dude DeMeo.
Mm-hmm.
And for a second, I thought it was the same family, and I was like, no fucking way. And so I had to do a bunch of cross research to make sure it wasn't, but it's not.
That'd be crazy if it was, though.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, mob hit.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, no fucking way, because that guy was like the mobster. He was the one that ran like the kill house.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So, they thinking that this was a mob hit, they took Ronald into protective services immediately, and they started to talk to him. And they began to suspect that he knew a little bit more than he was saying. And after a lot of confessing, he actually ended up confessing to killing all of them. So he admitted that he started and then just literally could not stop. Something made him not stop. He went into court and tried to plead insanity, but the court said, you did so much to hide very crucial evidence. That means that you were very aware and very sane for these things. So no, you're not insane.
Right.
He was served 6 full life sentences.
Damn.
Next note I have, how did 5 people sleep through 5 gunshots around the house? One of them slept through 5 gunshots. Whoever was last.
Yeah.
Slept through 5 gunshots in their bed. And there was no indication of moving bodies. All of them were genuinely just in bed, which is very strange.
So weird.
And that's one of the crazy things. But I can't see a getting away with it plan that starts with running into a bar and screaming that everybody's dead in your house.
No, I don't get it.
Like, according to everything ever, you're a first suspect if you do that. If everyone around you dies except for you,
that's number 1 suspect.
they're gonna question you. So it is strange. And then the fact that he says like he just started and he just couldn't stop, like he just like something was compelling him to say. He said that there was voices in his head that were telling him to keep going, and that's why he ended up doing everything.
Yep.
This could all be part of the insanity plea. This could be some crazy supernatural force. Which is interesting because Ed and Lorraine actually do not believe that. They don't believe that they do not believe that he and any type of spirit were ever connected.
Really?
They think that he just killed them. It has nothing to do with that. Because...
Interesting. Why would they take Arnie, though, if he said the devil made me do it versus this guy? What's the difference? What's the key difference here?
I don't know the key difference.
Also,
However,
good for me for remembering his name, Arnie. Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Yeah, to them it took a week for you to remember.
I don't even think you said his name.
I didn't.
I think I just remember that shit from the movie.
No, because we were trying to remember the name in the last episode.
Arnie!
Yeah. So, after all these murders, the house remained empty for 13 months and then was bought by George and Kathy Lutz for 80,000 smackaroos.
80,000!
80,000, which apparently was a stupid steal for where that was, and like just like the caliber of house and where it was, like location wise.
Imagine if you could get a house for that today.
Literally.
In this fucking market?
Literally.
That's more than a steal. That's a whole robbery.
Actually.
That's a whole heist.
So they thought that they had purchased like their dream home, and turns out they would not be in that house by the 28th day. They spent 28 days in that house, and that is it. During the 28 days, they said that they smelled strange odors. They even saw green slime oozing from the walls and sometimes out of keyholes of doors.
Oh.
They had a priest come in and try to cleanse the house, and the priest got slapped in the fucking face. He says that he got slapped in the face and he heard "get out," while a disembodied voice tell him to get out while he was doing a cleansing. And he didn't tell them. He didn't tell the couple because he didn't want to freak them the fuck out. But he heard it in the parents' room that had gotten murdered. That's where he heard the voice.
If I was that priest, I'd run the...
Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Oh, sorry. So sorry to bother you.
Oh, didn't know anyone was in here. Sorry.
Oh, so sorry.
Didn't mean to barge in on you.
Yeah. He didn't tell.
I've overstayed my welcome. Jesus, man. If I got slapped by a ghost and it told me to get out,
I'd be
in my car in 2 seconds.
Oh, literally, no, but I'd be pissed at that priest that he didn't tell me. If that was my house, and then he didn't tell me, I get he doesn't want to scare me, but tell me.
You're living there, man.
I need to know. That feels like need to know information.
If I was the priest, I would dead ass be like, hey, you need to get a hotel.
Literally.
Never fucking come back.
Yeah.
Back your shit.
Do something. And then at another occurrence, George and his son reported seeing a pig-like creature with red eyes in the upstairs window looking down at them.
Oh, that's a demon.
Mm-hmm. And then this is when the Warrens finally arrive in 1976 in March. And they both had a horrible feeling from the first time they arrived at the property. That's what we're going to pick up right after this break. Hey everyone, this is Kinson from the Creep It 100 podcast. Today I'm here to talk to you about Skillshare. Skillshare is a platform where you can explore thousands of hands-on creative classes to better yourself in any area. These areas include TV, film, animation, creative writing, music, design, illustration, photography, anything you could think of. Whether you're here to just learn a new skill or learn how to start a small business, they have classes for everyone on Skillshare. Exclusive for our listeners, guys, you can go on and you save 50% when you sign up for an annual plan. Make sure to click the link in our description below to sign up for your free trial and join Skillshare today. It really is one of the best places to learn any new skill, and I promise you guys will not regret it. Sign up for Skillshare today.
This episode is pretty scary. But what's scarier is not having access to your favorite Paramount horror films like Friday the 13th, A Quiet Place, and Scream. With Paramount Plus, you have access to a mountain of entertainment, groundbreaking originals, iconic movies, hilarious reality shows, game-winning sports, and so much more. It's all here on Paramount Plus. Plans start as low as $4.99. If you bundle with Showtime, you can save up to 28%. This was a pretty intense episode, so if you need something lighthearted to distract your mind, click the link in the description below to sign up for a free trial.
All right. Thank you guys for listening to those ads. We appreciate you listening to them. Supports the show. But
I was expecting something stupid, but...
No. I was
listening to that ad?
Spot.
Paid for these batteries to make this look cool.
Yeah, okay, there we go. Good.
Oh, it's not even on.
Nice.
Oh, there it goes.
Oh, there we go.
I don't know if you can see it.
Probably not.
But it's a cool guy.
Yeah. So, right when we left off, the Warrens just showed up to...
We need to go.
What? Oh. The crystal ball is telling you information? They had just showed up, and they both had a bad feeling the second they got to the property. Lorraine actually says that while she was walking up the stairs to where the most activity was happening, said she felt a sensation that almost felt like water pressure coming into her chest.
Oof.
Like when you get too far down in the water and you start to feel a little pressure there.
Yeah.
She said it felt like that every step up was
It got more intensified.
More intense pressure. And she said she had stopped halfway through the stairs, literally just to pray for strength to keep going in this house.
Damn.
She also said that at one point she physically levitated inside of the house. Is correct.
I'm gonna need some proof.
But this time,
I'm gonna need to see the receipts.
I also need to. I need to see a video. I need to see the Snapchat.
Yeah. I need to see the memories.
Yeah. So they actually invited a photographer to this particular investigation, and they did. They had him set up infrared cameras. And then, have you seen that photo?
Of the boy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great. Okay. Then I don't need to pull it up. So they caught one super crazy, scary ass picture, and it's like of like the staircase, and then from around like the banister and in a room, you can see like a little boy like popping his head out with like glowing eyes. Which glowing eyes is what looks like normal eyes on infrared cameras. So like that's explained by that. But the fact that there's a little fucking boy there, not explained, because George's son is not like a little kid. He was like in his teens at this time. But this was a clear little ass boy. They, Ed and Lorraine, after seeing this, which, you know what's crazy about that picture? It didn't surface for 3 years after this. They didn't let that shit get out. They like,
really?
Yeah, they kept that shit to themselves. They were just like, oh, this is here. It was just part of the investigation, blah, blah, blah. And then 3 years later, they were like, no, we took this picture at the house.
See,
and people were like, what the fuck? Why did you?
A little more convincing.
It does. They were like, people were like, what the fuck? Why didn't you like show us this picture? And they were like, oh, we didn't think it was prevalent. There was something there. We told you there was something there. We got it out. Well, they didn't get it out, but like we told you there was shit there.
Yep.
We know there's shit there. We didn't feel the need to prove it because we believe it. Which is basically their whole shit that they always do. Is they're just like, okay, cool. You don't believe. We fought that shit last week, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Didn't they actually do, like, exorcisms and shit like that? Or was that just for the movie?
For everything I found, they do, like, cleansings.
Cleanses.
I don't think it's
as intense.
It's ever as dramatic. I think that they actually... I think that they had the most realistic experience with ghosts, where they just went, saw ghosts, and just couldn't do anything about it. Because they don't know what the fuck to do. There's not like everybody's like claiming like this is how you get rid of a ghost. How do you know? How do you know? You know what I mean? I think that they like had like the most realistic experience with ghosts because they just like they observed them and it was almost more of a research thing that they would commit to. Basically like proving that these were all real. So they believed that this little boy was one of the children from those murders that happened in the house. And they think that the murders are the thing that attracted the negative energy in the first place, and that is what invited the spirit in. Not that there was a spirit there that made him kill, and it's coming back. That's where like that separation lies, and why I said they didn't believe that that guy was ever possessed. They said that they think that negative energy and a lack of faith is what can open doorways and bring you a negative spirit or a demon.
Negative energy?
Basically, yeah.
Gross. Like
extreme... Nope, don't say it. Like extreme negative energy. So the house attracted so much attention after this. Like, this is like one of their biggest case and like what made them like crazy. So, obviously, along with this fame is going to come also people that are claiming that it's a hoax. To the point where there's been entire books written about how this whole haunting was fake, but nobody on either side of real or fake can give convincing enough evidence to convince the other. Because, I mean, makes sense.
Yeah.
To prove that it's real, you have to prove there are such thing as ghosts. To prove it not real, you have to prove there's no such thing as ghosts. It's such a mighty task. That's the reason that people are so like good in the paranormal field, is because to disprove me, you have to make the craziest scientific groundbreaking discovery of all time. No one's going to do that. Which is why you can never tell me for sure I didn't see that shit. That's why I think paranormal shows and stuff like that are the craziest and best marketing strategies ever, whether you believe or not.
Yeah.
Because even if they don't believe, they are making money moves to keep on there.
Let's exploit demons for money.
Literally, bro. That's what we're doing right now on the podcast.
I haven't seen a paycheck.
Chores? No. Yeah. Keep listening to ads, guys. Researchers still, to this day, argue about what exactly happened at the house. However, Ed and Lorraine stay true and they believed that evil lived there until they died. They never wavered from the fact that they believed that Amityville was completely true. And Lorraine even said that if she was offered $1 billion, she would never step foot in that house again.
Really?
Which, dumb.
I would.
I
1 foot in.
I'd lick the floor for $100 billion. For $1 billion?
I'd find the ghost.
I'd fight it. I'd square up.
For a bill? Yeah.
Yes, with this ethereal entity for a fucking bill. There's shy things I wouldn't do for $1 billion.
No, same.
Like, that's dumb decisions. I think that she's an idiot for that, but whatever.
Well, it's not like they were offering.
I know they're not offering, but like,
I mean, if they were actually offering, I'm sure her story would change.
but like, say that with chest. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, she didn't need to. She's old as fuck. What's she gonna do with $1 billion? But like, dude, I'd be all over that shit.
Yeah. I'd seek the demon out.
Oh, I'd lick it. I'd lick the demon. I would
French kiss a demon for that much money. For real.
I would ask it on a date.
Let it possess me, maybe.
Hmm?
For a bill, yeah. As long as I get to spend that money.
That's what I'm saying. If I can almost be assured that I will be back to get that money,
In good spirits.
yeah. Well,
Ah.
as long as 25% of me is back to spend that money, there's a lot of therapy. There's a lot of therapy I could pay for a fucking bill, bro. I can go through any trauma to come back to $1 billion because I'll fix myself.
With that money.
And I wouldn't have made a dent in that money by fixing myself, and then I'll just have all this money. I'll put up a little blocker in my head, and I'll never think about that day again. If I have to.
Lobotomize the shit out of it.
Sometime.
Want to do an at-home lobotomy?
Little DIY.
Little at-home kit.
Yeah. Jesus. So,
Test it on a.
that's basically it. Honestly, as far as the Amityville goes, I mean, it's really not that deep of a story as people make it to be. Much like everything in their lives, it's over dramatized.
Yeah, literally everything.
Everything. I'm gonna go through the Enfield Poltergeist because I feel like we can probably make it through that too.
Yeah.
Because I have a lot after that, but I was hesitant if we were gonna have time. But I'm just gonna go through. So this one starts in August of 1977. The police were called to this woman named Peggy's house. She reported to the police that she had seen furniture move around, and then half of her children, which is 2 of them, heard loud knocking on all the walls. The fact that she called the police over like spirit activity feels more real to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because like
I remember reading the police reports said they saw it too.
Yep. Yeah. And which one of the officers that's taking statements and shit, she literally saw a chair start to rock back and forth and then scoot across the room. Mm-hmm. The second that police reporter, or not police reporter, but the police officer wrote down that she just saw some shit too, the British press went crazy. They were like, we have the account from the person, and the police came, and then they saw it. That's insane. So journalists started coming to this house constantly. They started seeing things too. Like, this dude was active in the house. He kept moving shit for people. Like, it got so like prevalent that they started seeing things get like thrown across the room. There was furniture moving everywhere. They started hearing disembodied voices in the house. And even like there's like a bunch of pictures of like the kids fucking floating across the room, which honestly looks like they're jumping. But
yeah.
Looks like they're fucking jumping. And one quick side note, I don't believe a single thing that comes out of any of the children's mouth. The children, as adults, have said in interviews they made up a bunch of the shit. Mm. They said, we made a lot of those weird things happen, but not all of them. So, I think the 2 older daughters, I think stuff started happening. They didn't quite explain that it was... They didn't quite understand that it was
Wait, how many
scary.
kids are there?
There's 4.
4.
There's 4 kids. There's 2 young ones and 2, like, older ones.
Okay.
The older ones are the ones that have said in interviews that, like, they had something to do with some of the activity. But they said, but I'm not kidding when I say, like, it was not all us. There were some things that happened that, like... That happened... They happened, and then... They, as, like, a... kind of a coping thing to not be scared, played into it and did more shit. So I actually left out a bunch of kid shit in this, like what the kids saw and everything, because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
by any means. So, this is over a period of about 18 months that all this happens. 30 different people who were like investigators and psychiatrists and journalists and things like that all came to the house. Every single one of them saw something crazy and tried to help. Eventually, there was this dude named Maurice, and this is the one that has the recording of the kid when it's like talking and like saying that I'm the entity and I'm speaking through this person, and I died in the chair that's downstairs, the one that keeps moving and shit like that. Came from the kid's mouth. I don't really believe it, but whatever. This dude Maurice actually, along with one other investigator, stayed in the property for like almost a year.
Really?
Like they basically lived there for about a year, like trying to investigate it. This was also like one of the most famous cases in all of Britain. The Warrens are attached to this case. Their name is attached to this case, but they didn't do anything. Like realistically, they were there for 3 days.
Really?
This was an 18th month fiasco. They were there for 3 days. So
Well.
people are always very confused about this because Ed Warren especially would talk about this case like it was like the highlight of his career and things like that, but like it was there.
3 days.
Yeah. So, like I said, while these other researchers were spending sometimes up to a year in the house, the Warrens were there for like 3 days in 1978.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, especially in The Conjuring 2, which is what this entire case is, or Conjuring 2 is based off of this case.
Yeah.
They're made out to be like these main characters that have a ton to do with it. No. The movie says that they're like the ones that are discovering all this evidence and you know, they're the ones reaching out. No. No, not at all. And the only thing that they basically said is they came in and was like, there are ghosts, and then left.
Good luck.
Yeah, that's like literally all they did. Like they didn't do anything. They were just like, I don't know. Shit, to be honest, I don't know what to do. And some of the claims he makes about it too, like, don't match up with like really anything when it comes to this case specifically.
Like what?
So now that we're into the criticisms and controversy segment of the episode, I'll tell you.
Great.
So basically the reason behind so much controversy around them and so much skepticism is because the 1970s were a huge boom in the paranormal scene.
Okay.
This is where everything started to basically come to life. Horror movies were becoming more prevalent than ever in the 70s.
Hopping
Oh,
in the 70s.
hopping.
We had The Exorcist, Halloween. I don't know if you can kind of count Jaws.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Omen. Just all those. Yeah.
Yep. And because of that is where the skepticism lies. Because there's so much money to be made off of these right now. Why the fuck wouldn't you embellish some shit? Why wouldn't you make some shit up?
Yeah.
Just to get that fucking brand deal. So,
Took a few years, but yeah, we eventually got one about the Enfield poltergeist.
yeah. So, another reason that they like didn't love Ed and Lorraine Warren's like, you know, stories and things like that is because sometimes they would almost come across as like better than you while they're in interviews, because they're kind of phrasing it as if like they are the thing defending the world against this holy war that they've waged against the demons, and they are the stoppers. So like, obviously they never said this, but it's kind of like how they
Present themselves
as like they are these fucking, you know, godly things that are helping the world. They also came back at a lot of these criticisms and said, well, we're not in it for the money. We don't charge for our services. If we got super famous like we did and then started charging, yeah, you could call us fake because we're in it for the money. We still weren't charging when we were famous as fuck. We're making our money off of these books and these interviews that we're doing and like eventually movie deals, things like that. They're making all the money off of that to fund them going to keep doing that. This isn't like they got the money and now they're chilling.
See, that's one of those things that just makes it more convincing.
It is. That does make it convincing, and that's one of their biggest arguments for why they are like, they're like, no, we're real, bro. It's okay. So along with like the success of the Conjuring movies, it was kind of a double-edged sword for them, because on one hand, they got stupid famous again. They'd been super famous in like the 70s, kind of like low-key died out, and then when these movies started getting made again, everybody remembered them, which got them to a height like that they've never even been. Not even in the 70s they weren't this famous. And then on the other edge of the sword is, because Hollywood embellished those details so much to make it interesting for a movie, which is what you do.
Yeah, big time.
It calls to question everything that they've said. Because they're saying, this is how the cases went. Obviously, things were embellished for the movie. But this is a borderline true story. So people are like, okay. Like, you didn't fucking
Fight a nun.
battle the nun like, in the house, dude. Like, obviously, if that part's made up, how much is? So that's where a lot of the questions rose, and like about them. They're also like, every time they were questioned about their cases, it was very vague. Like, they didn't like to be questioned about much, and they wouldn't give you a lot. So like with Annabelle, they had that story about the guy that mocked it, went home and then died on like the way home in the car. They couldn't even give a name of the guy. But they tell this story to tourists and stuff as if it's just fact, like in the museum. There's also
fucked up they can't give a name.
Yeah, there's also a speculation that Annabelle itself is made up, because there's an episode of The Twilight Zone 2 years before Annabelle existed about a rogue doll. One of the characters in the Twilight Zone episode is named Annabelle. But, however, one thing that most skeptics do agree about the Warrens is that they did this stuff. They went out, they did it, they saw shit, they just believe that they're embellishing it to make it more exciting and make it more profitable for movies and books. One of the biggest cases of that possible was they had another case that they did, and it was about this family, and the family's house was being possessed, and then he called in a writer to author this book about this family. And during the interviews and everything, they started talking about it, and the family was just all alcoholics and drug addicts.
Oh.
Everybody.
Oh, man.
So all the stories, the author was like, I'm trying to get these stories together. I'm fucking frustrated because none of their stories are adding up. And I can't have unadding up stories for a piece that's supposed to be nonfiction. He goes to Ed. What do I do? This shit, it's not adding up. You claimed it was real. Tell me why you think it was real. And you don't think it's just a bunch of drug addicts and shit. And he goes, just use what you can, make up the rest, make it scary.
That's what he said?
That's what he said to the author. The author was pissed because he was a believer in them. He stopped believing in them. He started mistrusting throughout, like, creating the book, because he was still in contract. Throughout creating the book, he said that he began to mistrust them so much to where he said in an interview about Lorraine, if she were to tell him the sun's going to come up tomorrow, he would get a second opinion.
Oh.
Is how much he did not trust anything she said.
Damn.
Yeah. So these are all just starting to go down, 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 down. There's a lot of reasons that people didn't really trust them, and people are still mistrusting of them to this day, but just as many people do believe in them. This goes all the way to 2006, when on April 23rd, unfortunately, Ed passed away. This is 6 years before the first Conjuring movie. So Lorraine was really the one to deal with all of those, to account these stories. This is the point where all that attention got brought back onto the Warrens, and unfortunately, this is what I was talking to you about in in 2013, there was a woman named Judith Penny claimed that she had over a 40-year-long affair with Ed, starting when she was 15.
Oh.
And that Lorraine knew. Lorraine knew about it. Also, she threw in just a claim that he was verbally and physically abusive to Lorraine. Lorraine has never once given any questioning to these accusations, anything like that, but she's never mentioned that ever. I don't know who Judith Penny is. I don't know where she came from. This is just something that is talked about at the end of their lives.
Jesus.
So take that with a grain of salt. This could easily be, wrong. And then April 18th of 2019 is when Lorraine passed away as well. So we have no more remaining members of the... Well, actually we do. They have a son who was in charge of the museum and since closed it. But he is the one in possession of the doll. At this moment, I believe. The Annabelle doll.
Okay.
As well as all these haunted objects, which still exist in the closed museum. It's now just almost like a storage space.
Damn.
So,
Little spooky vault.
little spooky vault. That is how their story ends as far as Ed and Lorraine Warren go. That is everything that we got about them. And now they have inspired an entire universe of films with, like we said, The Conjuring, The Conjuring 2, The Conjuring 3, Annabelle 1, 2, 3, The Nun.
The Nun 2 is coming out too.
Nun 2.
Pretty sure the Curse of La Llorona's in there.
Yep. It's like 10 movies.
Yeah.
It's like a 10-movie universe. Which is very cool. And you know what? Not bad movies. Embellished or not. Not bad movies. The ones I've seen anyway. You know I'm not a big like horror person, so I've seen like 2 of them.
Some are.
Maybe 3. But
Some are good.
the ones I've seen were good. Was the first Conjuring the clap one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked that.
Second one was good as fuck too.
Really?
Yeah. The Nun one. Have you seen that one?
I didn't know that the Nun one was in the Poltergeist one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That one's really good.
I feel like I've seen it because I've seen that scene where all the things go upside down. All
It
the
was also in
crucifixes.
the trailer.
No, but I've seen that like actually watching it.
Okay.
I remember that scene. Isn't she in a painting?
The Nun?
Yeah.
Yeah. They incorporated Ed's painting into that. So Ed
He
paints
painted
the
her?
nun, and he's like, "Yeah, I keep seeing this bitch in my dreams."
Oh, okay.
And Lorraine's like, "Freak the fuck out."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. I definitely have seen it. But if you got anything, then now's the time because we're at the end.
I don't know.
No.
I mean, I don't have anything.
Yeah. I mean,
They've always fascinated me. I'm happy we're talking about them.
yeah. It's one that I've never really done a dive into them before until this past week. Glad I did. It's very interesting, and I'm surprised actually that there's so little about them for them being so iconic.
Yeah.
Like as far as their actual cases go, and like the things that they were involved with, it's kind of crazy that they didn't do all that much, but they can get the popularity that they did. So, I mean, good for them
Yeah.
for getting that movie check. They said that Lorraine passed away with like mills.
Mills.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I believe
from
it.
From all the movie deals,
Absolutely.
all the interviews, everything like that. They said they were well off in the 70s. They were well enough off to never get a job until the movie contract started going.
Man, I wish.
Literally.
Anyone trying to make a movie about us?
That's what I'm saying.
About the podcast?
Yeah. The podcast, the movie. It's just
100.
this, but an hour and a half.
Creepy 100, the movie.
Once again, we appreciate all of you for listening and now watching. If you guys are checking out the video, if you are not, we recommend it. It's fun. We got a cool little studio. If not, just check us out. Just come click on the video. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're listening to this on YouTube. Give us a little comment.
Maybe some likes.
Maybe some likes.
Maybe a subscribe.
You know?
Maybe a little bit of a donation, a voicemail.
God, if y'all don't start actually running me voicemails. I'm tired of this. My phone is dry. I don't have any notifications and I'm pissed about it. Run me my voicemails. I want to talk to you guys. You're not talking to me.
I want to hear you.
I don't like that.
We want to hear you.
I have access to the downloads. I know you're listening. And if you're listening, I'm talking to you, Brian. I just want someone named Brian to be like, right there. But it's going to be your dad.
I don't even know if my dad listens.
No, probably not. I think my mom's like 3 episodes behind right now.
I don't think my mom's even listened to the Halloween ones.
I don't know if my mom has either. But on that note, guys, go ahead and, we talked to you about the YouTube. If you're listening to this on audio, any audio platform, go ahead and give us a rating.
To be real, we're 23 episodes in deep. You know the drill.
Yeah, you know the drill. We're still going to say it every time. And you know what? Sometimes I might say it at the beginning of the episode. You never know. Maybe next week I'll switch it up. But on that note, guys, we're heading out. And we will see you next week with something. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Because we just had a conversation that we changed it 3 times.
See you next
See you next
time.
time.